Hey everyone, today I am here to review For Better or For Worse by Ingrid Nickelsen, and I should probably get this part out of the way before I go on to the review. I received a free e-arc by the author in exchange for an honest review. Everything I am about to say, I was not paid to say. Alright, let's go on. The story of For Better or For Worse follows Eve, who at the beginning of the story has lived a long life, and she has a happy marriage, she's got a lovely daughter, and a grandson. One day, she and her husband are on their way to go and visit their daughter, and they end up getting in a car accident and dying. Now here's the thing, you as the viewer know that Eve has died, but Eve is kind of in this what just happened, like her mind's been wiped moment. And she ends up arriving in this community. And this community is where you go for, well, maybe the in-between, something. It's your community that you're gonna live. Eve really doesn't know too much. She starts to slowly figure things out in baby steps. While Eve is there, though, she ends up having questions for things, and most of these questions get answered, and sometimes the answers lead to more questions, but there are a number of things that Eve either doesn't understand, or Eve isn't told the answer to, until she meets a mysterious man in the middle of the night, and everything starts to change little by little. Now, I was very intrigued by the synopsis of this book. First off, it's a little creepy meeting a guy only at nighttime. Like, I'd be a little bothered if some guy just wanted to talk to me in the middle of the night. But it's very interesting because he is kind of the key character for Eve starting to unravel and understand things a bit more. Now, it's understandable that Eve's character is going to have a lot of emotional problems going on at this point in time. Sometimes she'll be really happy and enjoying herself, and at other times she's going to get really sad, or she's going to get really upset and really angry. And it's understandable because she's trying to come to terms with the fact that she is dead. Although she feels like there's other things going on as well, she's still having to come to terms with the fact that she doesn't want to know this. She just wants to be there. She wants to be present. Now, Eve's character is one that at times I would get really frustrated with because you just felt like she wasn't coming to her full potential to figure out the answers to things herself. She always wanted other people to give her the answers. But, on the other hand, she was also a very interesting character because she felt very realistic. It wasn't something where it was like, oh, like this person is so perfect. No, she wasn't perfect. She may have been perfect because if she, say, cut her hand or scraped her knee, it would go back to being normal because she's dead. She can't really die again. But she isn't perfect as in a perfect character, like a cardboard cutout character. The writing is absolutely brilliant in this book. Ingrid Nickelsen is a debut author, and it was originally published only in ebook format. The fact that her book is now being published in a paper format says something towards the author. That means that this book has gotten such amazing reviews, or it's been such a good seller, that they've actually been willing, as the publishers, to publish it in a paper format. But Ingrid Nickelsen has put a lot of thought into her writing, and not only that, she's put a lot of thought into the word choices that she makes, or the character names that she's chosen. I was getting more of a Stepford Wives approach to this community. Now, if you guys have watched the film with Nicole Kidman, that's the one that I'm referring to. The Stepford Wives film, it's basically, well, I don't want to give anything away, but everybody's perfect. And in this novel, it seemed like everybody in the community is perfect. Now, if you guys are interested in reading this, I would recommend it. I enjoyed it, I liked it, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I absolutely loved it. It wasn't the best storyline that gripped me. Probably the last 5 chapters of this story were what pulled me into it. I literally was stuck in my seat reading the last 5 chapters of this book because I wanted to know what happened. I have never been so conflicted about how I wanted a story to end as much as I did in this book. I wanted her to end up with one thing, but I also wanted her to end up with another thing as well. And it was just so heart-wrenching knowing that only one thing could happen at the end of the book. There's only one way a book can end. You can't have like a second ending unless the author wrote it that way. But the way it ended, I was very conflicted, but I was really happy. Ingrid Nickelsen has written this story so that, in a way, if she wanted to come back and write a sequel, she could. And you know what? I'd probably read it if she did. Anyway, guys, let me know some of your thoughts on For Better or For Worse by Ingrid Nickelsen. And thank you, Miss Nickelsen, for giving me this lovely opportunity to read your book. I just felt so honored, and you are so nice, by the way. If no one's told you that, you are such a very sweet, kind author, because the way you approached it, it didn't matter if I came back and I had a negative review. You just wanted to hear my honest thoughts. And coming from someone who's had a bad experience with an author, that was just a really positive thing. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching this and going and supporting this author if you do, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, go and pick up a random book and read. Bye, guys.